Today, I'm going to answer the question, what does broody mean and can you stop it? Let's go. Welcome to Becky's Homestead. What broody means is the hen feels the urge to sit on a clutch of eggs and hatch them into babies. It's a perfectly natural instinct for the hen to want to hatch out babies. I'm going to describe a couple characteristics of a broody hen, which is kind of funny if you have one. And if you look at it this way, you won't be so worried. A broody hen, when broodiness strikes her, she just wants to sit on a clutch of eggs. And the funny thing is, they don't know if they have fertilized eggs or not. So you cannot even have a rooster anywhere on your property, and you might still get a broody hen. She doesn't know if the eggs are fertilized or not. She's not smart enough. So just forget about rooster and fertilized eggs. She's broody, and she's the wild broody hen. Second is, broody hens are egg greedy. They will sit on anybody's eggs. They don't care. If they see a pile of eggs, they're like, they're mine. And they just get in there and they just get in that nest. And the other ones are like, excuse me, I want to get in there and lay an egg. And they're like, they're all mine. And she just sits in there, and it's kind of comical because you're kind of like, get out of there, those aren't all yours, I need those, because you want to collect the eggs. And she's just like all poofed out. She's like, no, they're all mine. So it is kind of like drama going on in the coop when this happens. The best thing you can do is just collect the eggs every day. Just go in there, and I find personally the best way to get them out of the box is because they will peck you. Like, some broody hens are ferociously protecting their eggs. And it's instinctual, of course, and I'm talking about even if they're not fertilized, like there's no rooster, she will ferociously protect her eggs. And you can't be mad at her because it's just instinct. So I find the safest, best way for me to get them out of the nest without them biting me is gently, very gently. I just pick them up by the tail, and I don't mean I pick them up like off the ground. I just like pick their butt up and like just kind of move them, but their legs are still on the ground, and get them out of there. And it doesn't pull their feathers out or anything, like very gently. She'll never bite you if you do that. If you try to go in like head first, she will peck you pretty hard. So just remember that little trick, and you can get them off the nest pretty good. Really, the confusing thing is, and what throws people off is, not all hens are broody. So when you get a broody hen, it seems so odd that this one hen seems like it turns crazy, and it just stays in the nest box for days on end or even weeks at a time. And for some people, that's like kind of worrisome because they're like, oh, like it should be out and about and eating and everything. The first thing I want to tell you is don't worry about that. First, it's natural. Second, when it really is hatching out a clutch of eggs, it will stay in there for days and nights on end and will not eat or drink. That's just how it works. So they're obviously made to do that. It's not going to kill them. So you don't have to like really worry too much. What I will do when she's really, like, I have a rooster and I know the eggs are fertile and she's hatching out babies, I'll just put a little bowl of water and a little bowl of food closer to the nest, just so if she feels like she's starving or thirsty, she doesn't have to go far. She can still stay right by her nest because obviously she's going to be protective of it. The hens come back in the coop and they wait in line. They're so cute. They have their order of when they lay the eggs, and you can see the red one's going in there. She's like, it's my turn. She's going in there to lay her egg, and then the black one, who I call Sweetie, she's next in line. Sometimes when they can't hold it, they will go to the left over there in the corner. There's a little nest just on the ground, and I'll find eggs in there. surprise, and I lean the boards up against there so they can have their privacy, and you can see it looks like Sweetie might be considering going over there. Surprisingly, the one to the right, they will lay in there, but it's not their favorite, and I guess if they're desperate, they'll go lay in that one. A lot of people will feel guilty collecting the eggs because they're like, oh, she wants her eggs. Like, don't be sentimental about it. If you are a homesteader or a farmer, whatever you want to call it, like, you got to do what you got to do. So just go in there and collect the eggs. Don't kneel down and have a weeping party because you have to get the eggs out from under the chicken. It's the best thing you can do for her, and that way you're not wasting the eggs, because her body's sitting on them. Will keep those eggs like 105, 106 degrees. So you don't want to just waste the eggs, and they're never going to hatch anyway. So just go in there, get her off the nest, get the eggs, and she might go straight back in that nest box again. Who cares? Let her. Don't worry about that part. Let her do whatever she wants. Just make sure you go get the eggs every day, and everything's going to work out just fine. The broodiness will pass over time, and she'll just be right back out in the flock with the rest of them. And of course, this, happens every year. If you have a broody hen, it's pretty much going to happen every year. I personally love my broody hens because it's like mamas, and if you ever do want to hatch out chicks and you don't have a rooster, you can borrow a rooster from a friend for, I say a week is long enough, a few days, a week, whatever, and you can give the rooster back, and then your broody hen can hatch out some little chickie babies for you. Hens usually turn broody, which I want to say always, but of course there's always an exception. But hens turn broody in the warm months of the summer. So really in spring, when it's really warm out, that is when it'll hit them. And because most animals have babies in the spring. That's when baby time is in the animal kingdom. And also, though, they can, if you have a super broody hen, I've had it, and I've had a rooster, they will hatch out like 2 clutches of babies in 1 year. They'll have one in the spring, and when those are a little bit older, they'll have another one in the fall. And ducks will do that as well. So they're very prolific, ducks are. What I want to say is, a lot of people will ask, oh, what can I do about it? They'll write to me. And it's like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's nature. And I just don't understand why anybody wants to interrupt nature, like just stick their foot in the door. It's like, leave it alone. Just let it go. Like, enjoy the cycles of nature. That is why you're out in the country. That's why you're on a homestead. You're just there to gently guide things along. You're not there to like interrupt nature and try to change it. And it's like, you will be crazy and you won't enjoy yourself at all. I want to mention that certain breeds are more broody than others, and certain breeds are less broody. Your more nervous breeds are going to be less broody. They're just going to tend to be less broody. Of course, it can happen. But it's just like your chances are going to be greater if you choose to make babies, to have a broody hen. If you choose like a black Australorp or a buff Orpington, just kind of like the calmer, friendlier breeds do tend to be more broody. And then the more nervous, like the leghorns and like the super egg layers, they just seem to be less broody by nature. Just so you just have an idea, like if you want to choose one type or the other. Secondly, I want to say one breed that's like mega broody are those little silkies. I have told the story many times where I had a little silky hen, and it was like, they're little. And there's mostly fluff. If you pick them up, there's like nothing to them. I had one, and I don't even know how she did it. She had to work hard and move her little body a lot. She hatched out 24 chicks. 24 little chickie babies. This little tiny thing hatched out. It was amazing. Like, all she wanted to do was sit on a pile of eggs. And I was like more of a beginner back then, and I was so worried about her. I'm like, she's going to wither away to nothing because she was already a little thing. But that was just her nature, and that's all she wanted to do was hatch out babies. If you enjoy chickens and you want to learn more about them, I have written a book, Becky's Guide to Backyard Chickens, that'll help you so much. You can buy it by clicking the link that's in the description below.